Washington Journal continues.
We are joined now by Harry Alford. He is the president and CEO of the National Black Chamber of Commerce. Thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Well, thank you for having us on this holiday morning.
So can you start by telling us a little bit about the state of black-owned businesses in America? How many are they and how are they faring?
When we started the National Black Chamber of Commerce, there were, in 1993, according to the U.S. Census Bureau, there were 300,000 black-owned businesses doing $33 billion in sales. Today, I'm happy to report that there are 2.5 million black-owned businesses doing about $180 billion in sales. The good side of that is the growth continues. The questionable side is it was growing at 10% per year. Now it's slowed to 5% per year. And I think that's based on some government policies and regulations and a slow recovery from the recession. But we're growing.
Did you find that black-owned businesses were hurt disproportionately during the Great Recession, or how did they make out?
Well, the saying goes, when America gets a cold, we get pneumonia. So the resources are less. The Dodd-Frank bill, kind of a knee-jerk reaction to the banking scandals and the homeowner scandals, that really tightened up cash. That tightened up cash flow for our members, and we had to find creative ways to get capital access. It is still a problem. The SBA lending is almost non-existent for black businesses now. They won't even give us the report on what they're doing. They're so ashamed. So we're trying to find other ways, and we're getting pretty creative about that.
And what types of industries do you find that black-owned businesses tend to be clustered in, if any?
Technology, engineering, construction, manufacturing, light manufacturing. International trade is what we're harping on, because there's 1 billion customers in Africa. They have very little electricity. And if we can come there and provide electricity and create jobs, we're opening up a new pioneer, a new frontier. And I think Asia is open arms to us. South America, we opened 2 new chapters in Colombia and Costa Rica last year. Colombia is a dynamite chapter. They had 400 businesses come to the kickoff. So we're doing some things. There are 135 million people, black people in South America, who have never really communicated to the people of the United States. So we're changing that.
And so what are some of the most important factors that you guys are helping put in place to ensure that there's faster and more growth for these businesses in the future?
We're fighting adverse regulation. There's some environmental laws coming to be that really will shut down small business. They want to kill coal. They want to not import or export natural gas. They want to decrease our volume with oil and gasoline. They don't want the Keystone Pipeline, which would open the doors for many small businesses of all colors and ethnicities. So we need to fight, and we're fighting. And we go up there on Capitol Hill, and we get on the stomp, and we put a pretty good fight. And we usually get our way in the end.
So some of the issues that you mentioned earlier as important to driving growth for black-owned businesses, such as the Keystone Pipeline, those are issues that the broader Chamber of Commerce is focused on as well. Is there something specific to black-owned businesses? Are there specific supports that you feel that they need that are different from what other businesses need?
Not really. It's just the scale, and all businesses need cash. Fortunately for the larger corporations, they could find cash. You take the XM Bank that provides funding for international works. They have never, to my understanding, made a loan to a black-owned business, ever, the XM Bank. So they're up against the wall. They may not get reauthorized. They wanted us to support it. I said, show me a black business that has benefited from XM Bank, and I'll support it. And they haven't done it.
So you guys stayed out of that fight?
Yes. And the U.S. Chamber was very strong with it, but I told the U.S. I'm on the board of the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. I said, we're not going to get in this fight. It has been no benefit to us. And the big boys, the Fortune 20, can rock and roll with that, but the small guy is left on the outside looking in.
So what are the challenges to black-owned businesses in terms of accessing that capital, and what are some of the creative ways that you were just talking about earlier that they're finding to find ways to invest in their business?
Well, we have found some philanthropists in Europe who want to develop Africa. And we can provide them with businesses who can build infrastructure, who could put dams in place, who can build windmill farms, who could do solar, who could do water works. And we are going to match them with these philanthropists in Europe. I've got a big meeting to go to in Paris, hooking that up. I'm also on the board of the Pan-African Chamber of Commerce and Industry, which are 34 nations in Africa. And I'm going to represent them and, of course, constituency in America in doing that. We are going to work with the EB-5 visa program.
What is EB-5? Yeah.
EB-5 is a special program to a visa, an American visa. If you can put up $500,000 in clean money, it's gleaned by the FBI and the CIA. If you can put up $500,000 towards infrastructure and jobs in the United States, you can get this special visa where your kids can come and go to Harvard, Yale. You can be treated like a citizen. Our San Francisco chapter, they have 500 EB-5 visa owners investing in San Francisco developments. We're going to go to Shanghai and form a chapter there and start encouraging more of that. That is really a great avenue towards capital. We've got another trip where there's another trip going somewhere. Oh yeah, going to the Pan-African Chamber of Commerce annual meeting in Seychelles Islands in November, where we're going to close the deal on the French piece and also identify what countries are ready, non-corrupt, and trustworthy, sovereign guarantee for projects.